Hey Subbies and Friends, this is Lady T. A couple weeks ago I uploaded 2 videos about dry detangling, and you guys saw what I've been doing lately, particularly this year before I wash my hair. The funny thing is, a lot of you guys either didn't know what dry detangling was, didn't do it, didn't want to do it, and 2, understood why I did it, but didn't really think it, you didn't want to commit the time, or maybe you just didn't feel a need for it. And then very few of you guys knew exactly why I did dry detangling. You understood. You even have it as a part of your hair regimen too. I've heard of dry detangling for about a year now. I've heard natural women, especially those with really long hair, who have been doing it. And like, for instance, the girl from Urban Bush Babes, Cipriana, I think her name is, she does it. And I didn't realize how fragile her hair was until she said it, because she has such thick hair. There's so many different hair textures out there. Some hair textures cannot handle or do not behave well, I would say, once they're just saturated in water or even conditioner. I'm sure every hair texture can somehow function well. It's particularly with the right pH when it's saturated in water. The only conditioner I've used so far that I really enjoy when my hair is just loose or in twists and I take them out and place in, I see it immediately get nice and soft, is when I use the VO5 Silky Experiences conditioners. But even then I run into knots. See, what happens with me is I'll run into these knots and they're huge, and I always feel like, I wonder if it was dry, I could have probably got these knots looser. Or I would see areas in the back of my hair that are just dry. There's probably a lot of different ways I can prep my hair for just placing some type of light conditioner on my hair and not doing dry detangling. But see, it's all about what you prefer. I don't particularly like dealing with my stringy, fine hair strands when it's wet. I feel like they become even more fragile. And if you know anything about hair, water definitely makes the hair flexible, but it also makes your hair weaker. That's why it's able to bend and move that way. It's weaker. Some people feel like, well, it's moving and it's easier to move it when it's wet. Well, actually, your hair is weaker when it's wet. So I personally like to just deal with it when it's dry. Of course, when your hair is dry, there's opportunity for tension. Okay, so if your hair is dry and it's not at a good moisture level, not particularly wet, but just moisturized, you can break it easily because it's brittle. But my hair is really not brittle when I'm dry detangling. It's just kind of, at a regular moisture level. And of course, you saw me add a lot more moisture because that was one of those days I really didn't prep my hair. I just decided randomly, oh, I think I should dry detangle and wash, so I can wash my hair. That's why this year is so much focused on building a regimen, because I am bad at regimens. I'm bad at any type of routine. But the funny thing is, as I build routines and regimen with my hair, I'm starting to become better with building them in my life. One thing I know is that it just, my hair, natural hair, doesn't have to be that difficult. I find my biggest challenge in discouraging moments happening when I'm running into matted hair and I'm cutting it out and I'm looking at it, and it particularly happens along the back because it's a little bit of a more curly texture. I have 2 textures around up in the middle back, so I have a lot of tangles and a lot of mats happening. So I know now adding more moisture regularly is helping my hair immensely. Like, for instance, I have lately been sleeping with plastic caps on my head, not just a bonnet, because I personally like how my hair feels in the morning. Yes, it's a little saturated with water, but within 10-15 minutes, it's pretty much dry. My hair loses moisture very quickly. Okay, I believe I have what people call porous hair. Where your hair is a little bit, it's not made up of a lot of protein. It's not a thick, strong texture. It's porous. The protein's a little broken up. Um, so I have to be extra careful. So I'm not going to say dry detangling is for everyone by any means. There's some people with thicker hair textures, or even those girls with that really silky texture, that can get away with just applying conditioner, and the hair strands won't be as quick to become crazy. If you don't have to do it, then don't do it, because it is almost an extra step, because a lot of girls don't want to be bothered with sitting there, going through their hair and examining it. I personally don't mind it. I find a lot of small knots. I find single strand knots. I find hair strands with knots that are turned into knots, and I enjoy doing that and really knowing that I can know what's going on with my hair, because it is a very tricky hair texture. And I can't explain it. One day I'll sit and figure out what my hair texture is, but I haven't gotten into the hair typing system yet. What I noticed a lot of you guys were into was basically using conditioner as your detangling agent before you wash your hair, which sounds great. It reminds me of when I'm cold washing my hair and I'm just applying conditioner, which I usually do when my hair is sectioned off. I don't do it when it's just loose and apply conditioner on my hair. It still has to be organized within twists, 2-strand twists, and then I'll place each twist with conditioner on them. Then I'll rinse it out, and that's the only time I do it. But anytime my hair is faced with shampoo, which is something, to me, one of the most traumatic times for my hair texture, because it completely strips it. I don't care how soft the shampoo is. I've used Jason brands, Giovanni brands. I've used all kind of different brands that are sulfate free. My hair is very fragile, so as soon as that soap, that suds or that soap, it makes it super stringy. It doesn't feel nice. And of course, once the conditioner's on, it'll soften it up. But see, you'll see with more of my hair diary videos some of the stuff I've gone through and where I am now, where detangling is becoming more and more easy for me. But anytime there's shampoo being added to my hair, I dry detangle, because I don't want my hair strands to have any chance of becoming knotted if they don't have to. Or the knots with me, my issue is those knots become big. You know, I'll have knots like huge, okay, like huge knots that I just be like, and I'll look at it like, what is this? You know, it's just all matted up hair like product, and I have no clue. So I'm still learning. But I promise you, as your hair gets longer, as it reaches about 12 inches of length or longer, you will see your hair strands becoming, I call it, rebellious. They'll start to do what they want to do. It's just like, they'll start to want to twist and turn onto each other and mat and knot as soon as they don't get moisture, because again, your hair is getting older too. You'll find all kind of stuff that you weren't used to. So you may come back to this video a year from now and be like, I see why she's doing that. You might not know what's going on with your hair. You just know it's knotting all the time, and it could very well have something to do with how you prep your hair before you wash it. Washing natural black hair is one of the most challenging, to me, aspects of being natural. Shampoo is basically taking everything out your hair. Yes, there are some soft ones, but it's stripping your hair, and then it's making it go crazy. And some of you guys were asking me why I use Africa's Best hair oil. I use it, one, because it's cheap, $2 a bottle, usually under $2 a bottle, and it has over like 10 different oils in it. So I like using it if I run out of olive oil. I used to just love me some olive oil and coconut oil. Sometimes coconut oil can be drying to my hair because it's protein, it's made of nuts. But I do enjoy using olive oil. I've noticed I tend to like vegetable oils better for my hair texture. Like olive oil, grapeseed oil, stuff like that. You know, you were saying how I have a lot of patience and how do you do that, and I'm just like, honestly, you gain patience over time. When your hair becomes longer, you have to have more patience. It's going to take you longer to twist. It's going to take you longer to 2-strand twist your hair. It's going to take you longer to mini twist. It's going to take you longer to moisturize. Your hair is actually going to start to need more moisture. That's why my nighttime routine has evolved to me putting a plastic cap on my head at night too, and then in the morning, because it just feels so much softer. So I've been loving using a plastic cap at night, and some of you girls recommended that I should probably use plastic caps to get my hair soft. You saw me moisturizing that one side over and over again when I was dry detangling. Well, because it was exposed and you got to see my hair loses moisture very fast. Another thing you guys are talking about too, I found interesting. Some ladies did not dry detangle, and they almost thought there was something wrong with that. And they felt like, should I be dry detangling? Is that wrong that I only use conditioner? No. If your hair responds to you placing a conditioner on and it's nice and detangled and soft, and you don't feel your fingers jamming constantly, then keep doing it. Your hair, I promise you, your hair will let you know when it's not happy, and you won't have to think about it. You will know, because those knots and mats will come up on you, especially if you have fine, fragile hair like me. It will be a hot mess to the point where you will know something's not right. Okay, so just pay attention to your hair. Everyone has different hair texture. It's not about you doing what I do. It's about you learning what works for you. So thank you for tuning into those videos, and I hope they were helpful. Please let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any other questions about my dry detangling regimen or routine. Please thumbs up the video, comment, let me know what you're thinking, share advice, anything you may have on your mind, and have a good day.